Hello, hello. Welcome to Parents Behind the Dreams. My name is Ashley, and I'm going to be on this live with Miss Paris. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing started. Thank you all for joining. As you come in, tell us where you're from. Let's do that. Tell us where you're from, and I'm going to go ahead and bring on my guests. Once again, thank you all for joining. Tell us where you're from. Let's see here. Uh-oh. What is going on here? There we go. There we go. I was like, now, what's going on here? How you
It's been
doing?
too long. We forgot how to work it. Hold
I'm
on.
sitting here like, how you do this?
We've been off of it
Look,
way too long. That's the problem.
look, we have. How are you?
I am glad to be talking to you. How are you?
I'm good, girl. I'm good.
And
I
I'm
just got
glad it's
off.
Friday. Right. So happy it's
What?
Friday.
Yes,
Exhausted.
definitely.
Exhausted.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Yes.
As you're coming in, tell us where you're from.
Yes.
Today,
Let
we
me
will be
send this
talking
out.
about memories. Yeah, let's go ahead and send this out, and then we'll, I guess, say what we're going to talk about.
Yes. You should probably, I don't think I can pin it from my end, but if we can type that um, reflections and goals, is that our topic today? Look what I
Yes,
look.
yes, yes.
Look what I have.
Oh, yes! Look,
I
I
love
am
it.
so excited.
I love it
Girl,
so
look.
much. So much.
Yay!
It
Look,
is so
I'm so
nice.
glad you got you one.
Yes,
Oh,
it is so
look,
nice.
girl.
It took me
Okay,
forever to pick it up
so
and look at it with the personal your favorite health. I love it so much. Yes.
oh, so you guys, she is showing you guys my auntie's business. She doesn't like when I call her auntie because we're so, not too far in
Yeah.
age. But she
It's
is.
so
She's my
nice.
aunt, and she has her own planner business. So she
Yes.
makes these planners in
Yes.
her home.
It's
In
so
her home.
nice. And I could not, it took me forever to pick which one that I wanted. So
Yes,
yes, I am obsessed. I'm so happy with the one I got. I just had to tell you, I haven't even told
girl.
her, like, Tabby yet, but I love it. The quality, I couldn't wait. I felt like I was getting a new book. Like, right, I had to get a new pen. So
Aww.
I love it so much. And I got a couple
Oh
accessories
my
too. So
gosh.
I love
I
it.
just
Yes.
tagged her, you guys. That's planned and proper.
Yes.
Once
It's
again,
so
she is
nice.
my aunt. She is Simply Simone's aunt, and she has a
It's
planner
so
business
nice.
that she can make. I'm so glad that you
Yes.
got one.
Yes. I
And
had
they
to.
also have it for men. So if we have any men on here, she also, and I just, okay, she said pin the name. Okay, Lord,
You gotta
how in
hold.
the
If you
world?
hold it down, you can pin it. But I think that's perfect. When we decided what we were going to talk about today, I said, I'm already on it. We were talking about next year creating a disciplined lifestyle. That's what it says. I just
Yes.
noticed that. That's so nice. And that
Aww.
is perfect for our conversation today that it got here because really just trying to be intentional and taking it for like creating a disciplined lifestyle. So I love it.
Oh, I love it too, but look, I don't know how to pin it. I'm still trying to pin it. So
Let me
look,
see.
look,
They'll get it.
hold
Look.
on.
If you hold it down, because it won't let me do it. If you hold it down, it'll let you like pin the comments. Houston, we got Houston in the house. Where
We
else
got
are you
Houston
guys
in the
from?
house. Where y'all from? Where y'all? Tell us where
Yes.
y'all from. I'm from North Carolina. In case you guys didn't know, I'm from North Carolina, and Miss
And I,
Pears.
yes, I'm from Indiana, but we are in Texas. So that is where we're at in Dallas, closer to Dallas.
She say just tap and hold the name, and that's what you said too. And I'm tapping and holding the name, and it ain't working.
We're not going to let
So
that
what
beat
in
us.
the
We're going to
world?
do that next time.
Look, girl, bye.
We'll put it in the
Okay.
comments. Corey
Yes,
from Miami. Hello,
Corey
Miami.
from Hey Corey. Thank you for joining. Corey Love, you guys. She has an awesome talk show. I don't know if
Mm,
you guys know, but Nyla has been on her platform and she's gonna start her shows back up in January. So if you
okay.
are not on the books, get on the books. She has an awesome platform. I believe she's now streaming on YouTube as well.
Nice.
So Definitely, that's Corey Love, and we appreciate it. She's also a brand model for Simply Simone.
Ooh,
So
love
thank you
it.
for joining. Thank you so much for
Yes.
joining. So basically, you guys, our topic today is memories, blessings, and lessons
Ooh.
of 2021. We have all had some memories, blessings, and lessons to happen, and we want to talk about those. And you guys, please share as well in the comments.
Definitely.
Um, absolutely. Um, how your year has been, or some of the memories that you have of 2021. So, to get started, basically, Paris, I guess we should introduce ourselves because we never know who's
Yes.
who's on.
Yes. And we have to remind everybody what we're doing. You can give your name and maybe our 2 words for the week. I don't have my 2 words. But
Girl, me
yes.
neither. It's all right.
Introduce yourself.
Yes, yes. So my name is Ashley McMichael. I am mom manager to Simply Simone, as many of you know. But aside from being a mom manager and running her business basically as her business partner,
Okay.
I have my own business. I'm an interior decorator. I'm also a professional organizer. I also work at a spa. I am a licensed manicurist. I've done that for 10 years.
Yes.
And I help my husband run his business. He remodels houses, and I help manage and promote and all of those wonderful things. So I am a busy mom, as Paris says, give yourself a name.
Yes.
So I so I am the coffee wired and inspired super mom. Okay?
Love it. Love it. Love it. Yes. And I am your favorite healthy, hustling momager, and I'm the mom behind the dream of Don't Be Jelly. And what we really want to do with Parents Behind the Dreams is just remind everybody that there is support out there behind these kidpreneurs. And also, like we said, to just brag on ourselves for a little bit, we're so much more than just the parents behind these kidpreneurs. We are content creators, we are branding builders, we are marketing, we do all of that. We are data analysts. So we are
Girl.
liaisons, we are customer service, we are technical, and we still are trying to raise these little humans so that they can add value to the world. So I think just this time to really celebrate ourselves, to connect, and remember that dreaming at all ages. So I'm excited to talk about these memories and blessings and lessons.
Yes. So I guess to get this thing started, what is one memory of 2021, positive or negative? I mean, because we're keeping it real on here, that
Yeah.
really sticks out to you, and how has it altered or changed your life?
I think one of the big ones, just thinking about it today, is raising the money for Janelle to be on that home shopping marketplace. She raised, it
Yes.
was $1,000 a minute, and she raised $5,000 in 4 days to get ready to be on TV. So
Woo!
yes,
Girl.
so now she's been that's national and regional viewing. So we had to do a lot of preparation to get like her tapings, and I think what that really taught me, it was such a blessing, but the lesson was so much, because just trying to get her ready to get like scripts and being engaged, and you know how that goes when we want to make content and want them to do stuff and they don't want to do it, and now it's airing. So I'm like, Janelle, you got to talk about it and do all of that. So I think that part of the biggest lesson I learned too is just like how important it is to make that plan and stick to the plan to get it executed, or all of that excitement will just run you over.
Yes, I love that. And I'm reading the comments. We
Yes.
have someone that just introduced themselves. They sell amazing popcorn. From
Ooh,
what I
okay.
hear, I have not, look, I haven't purchased yet, but I've heard about PM popcorn, and I love
Ooh,
me some popcorn.
me
And
too.
one of my favorite things, guys, is popcorn. Oh, sorry. One of my things is and hot chocolate. I don't know if you guys have ever tried that combo,
No, you by
but
yourself.
it is awesome.
No, I'm gonna let you be by yourself with that one. Not the hot cocoa and the popcorn. But see, I don't like
Yes,
the sweet
definitely.
so what flavor popcorn do you like though?
Girl, I look, give me some butter popcorn and I'm happy. But I have
Yeah.
tried like different kinds of popcorn. Like flavored
Mm-hmm.
cheddar and jalapeno, and I love that too.
Yes.
So
Well, popcorn, what's your goal? What's your memory? What's a big lesson or memory you have from 2021? Drop that in the comments. And anybody else, any lessons or questions that you have about either of our brands? You frozen? Okay, there you go.
Yeah. So
Tell us
what
some
happened?
that's what tell us some lessons that you have. We can kind of talk. We've had so many. Even just thinking
Yes.
of our
So
yeah.
yeah, so like to go on your memories, this 2021, Simply Simone has been featured in 4 magazines this year. And that was like,
Yes.
whoa, because we weren't expecting any of these magazines. Like a lot of people are like, didn't you know? Didn't you expect it? We really did not know.
No.
So what I've done is just connect with a bunch of different people, send their Nyla's information to them, let them know we have
Mm-hmm.
a hit boss that's doing her thing, and I want the world to know about it.
Yes,
So,
brag. Yes. And she
brag,
slayed. She
right?
slayed those photo shoots too. Oh,
Girl,
the
and
headpiece one where she had the paint on it. She did that. Yes.
thank you. And we're so blessed because let me go
Oh my
back and talk
goodness.
about that. That photographer that did all of those photo shoots actually posted an ad on Instagram and was like, I'm looking to do a free
Mm-hmm.
photo shoot for somebody. And I was like, okay, free photo shoot, let's do that. And so I
Yes.
signed up and we were picked to do a photo shoot. And that's how we met them. And from that moment on, we just started utilizing Multi Shades as her photographer. And that is basically
Uh,
who's been her photographer. So one of the memories that really sticks out is all these magazines that she's been featured in and all these photo shoots that we have done. That have been amazing, and just connecting with other people through these magazines, because
mm-hmm.
once you release a magazine, it goes everywhere. So,
Yes. Who is
just
that?
connecting.
Yeah, memory was recognized and invited to speak on. That's great. And I think a lesson, just to interrupt while you're talking about that, one lesson
Yeah.
I learned, guys, like those business emails, keep that cleaned out. There's so many small like newspapers and your local newspaper that are emailing and looking to write up stories, but you got to be engaged in your emails. I have missed emails, from little things like that, or just clean up. And also like those
Yes, for sure.
the request
Hmm.
friends and the DMs, keep those clean, because there's so many opportunities out there with up and coming writers, photographers, and they are looking to support our babies, so, and us.
You're right. You are so right. And that's one of the things that I think, as an entrepreneur, a business owner, that we can't be slack on is
Yes.
the DMs, and Simply Simone is always in somebody's DM, and I said,
Always.
that's how you connect with
Yes.
everybody. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? So you're right. Respond to those emails, respond to those DMs. You never know who is going to slide in your DM and what value they could bring to your business.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I love that. Love it.
Let's talk about some of the tough lessons we've learned with these little kids. Part of the motivation to be here. Hey, can I help you with the business? Hopefully that's not spam.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, no, it's not. It's not. I'm
Okay.
familiar with the name.
Okay, good.
Um,
Yes, everybody can help. Blessings. I was blessed. My
so,
new IG family mentor, business coaches, and more for the free, just because I bless someone with a sample box because she pours into so.
oh,
Yes, that or Janelle, we're old school. These neighbors that we've lived next to, they want to talk to you.
I
Get
love
those
that, tea
kids
and
passing
popcorn.
out those flyers at their schools, at the holiday parties, all of that. Yes.
I love that, pea and popcorn. I
Yes, that's
love how
great.
you have also tried to connect with other people in that way, because like we said, you never know how that can change or alter your business.
Right. I love that. Well, so what are some tougher lessons or think you want to be that you learned this year with Nyla or in business or anything? Right. So
One
many.
of the one of the toughest lessons is just coming to grips that Nyla is a kid. Okay,
Yeah.
if that makes any sense,
It makes total.
because I think, as a mom manager, but also just a mom in general, you
Mm-hmm.
learn that we are so hard on our kids,
Yeah.
like,
Right.
and the reason why, because we have these expectations of them, because we know what they're capable of,
Yeah.
and they always prove us differently, like slack. Okay, we don't, I mean, I know what you're
Yes.
capable of, so ain't no need of
Yes.
you being slack.
Okay. Right. Just tell me what the issue is. That the communicate. Like.
Woo, the communication is off.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what is,
Yeah.
but I think that's this generation period because of the phones.
Right.
Because of, right?
Yep.
Like, the communication is not there. So I do encourage the communication. But one of the things that's been tougher is me coming to grips that Nyla is still a kid.
Yeah.
And she is not going to do everything that I would expect of her to
Mm-hmm.
do.
Mm-hmm.
right? And how can I help her to be better in her business? We have to constantly motivate them.
Yes.
You know, even when we need motivated ourselves,
Or
right?
even teach and circle back around, because I think sometimes with Janelle, I'm like, okay, what did I tell her? She said she was stressed, and I said, okay, well, define stress for eight, because that's a big person word. But even thinking like you've heard that word, so let's talk about if you're stressed, let's break it down. So I think that's to that, giving them grace and remembering that they're kids, but also teaching them like, you say you want this business, so that holds a different type of responsibility compared to you and your friends.
Yes, correct. And how about you? Like, what has been one of the tougher lessons that you have learned? And it doesn't have to just be business. I know we're just talking about our kids' businesses because it seems like that's all of our life. You
Yeah.
know, that's our whole world.
Yeah.
But just in general,
I think I learned it's just like this. I learned that there was a need for us to connect like this, that you needed more help outside of parenting because these are kids. And I think this is new territory. Like the folks who I'm just, I guess just when they're trying to do this entrepreneur thing with the little folks, it's not the same. You don't get the same support from your other PTA parents. So I think that I had to step back and realize that there's different learnings that we need, and also to give ourselves grace. I think that same thing, like you said, we're business partners. So I don't stop. So I don't feel like you should stop. So then when they stop, I don't stop. But also remembering that that's not the future that I really want. I'm trying to teach her how to not become a slave to herself or anybody else. So I think I have to remember, like you said, take a break. Like we gave ourselves some time off already with this so we can be at our best. So really just remembering like the plans that we had and we executed on, those only happened because we took the time to be at our best and plan them. So I'm really, that lesson keeps repeating itself all this year with death happening and with the business changes and
I
all of that
know.
stuff like that. It just keeps reminding you that you have to take time out for yourself, or it won't, or to translate poorly to our business and our kids.
I love that. I love how you worded that because it's true. And one of the things that I also would say that I've learned to do is make time for myself.
Yes.
I'm, you know, I've been really slack on making time for myself, doing things by myself, even if I'm just going for a ride in the car,
You know
listening
it.
to what I want to listen to.
Mommy's got to have bedtime, okay? Get yourself cute and take you some pictures. You know. Yes.
What?
Yes.
And I love that. I love that. But I've really tried to really focus on myself because I
Mhm.
feel like last year I gave my everything to my children
Yes.
because I had to. You know, we
Yeah.
were in the house in the
Mhm.
pandemic. You know, I didn't hardly work because won't nobody doing no nails
Right,
last
right.
year, you
Right.
know, and won't nobody letting you come in their house and decorate.
Exactly.
So, you know, I spent most of last year dedicated to my kids.
Yeah.
And, you know, and that was morning, noon, and night. So
Right.
this year I was like, I'm doing me. I'm going to get my nails done. I'm going to get my hair done.
Yes.
I'm going shopping.
Yes.
I'm getting my lashes.
All of that.
Okay.
Right, right, right.
So that's another lesson, but also it's been a blessing.
Right. Such a blessing. It keeps repeating. So what are like, I guess I've been thinking more of just like the lessons that we learn and how we're going to apply them to next year. So how are you setting yourself up for next year? Even for that, just remembering yourself.
Mm.
What's the plan for
Well,
success?
the plan for success is learn to delegate because you did talk about that briefly.
Yeah.
We have to learn to delegate or give somebody else a task because we have people that are willing to help, but
Yes.
we don't know how to tell them to help. So like figuring that out, what can somebody else do to help you? Whether it's a photo of the product so you have content. We talked about that
Yeah.
as well.
Mhm.
You know, whether it's sharing, you know, them on Facebook or Instagram, whether it's giving cards to other people, whatever, like
Yeah.
learning to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's something I'm hoping to take into next year is to continue to do that. Delegate. Yesterday my husband did post office run for me and he was like, I'm glad to do that if I'm
And
available,
that doesn't that
and I was
save
like,
your life?
really?
That saves your life because people don't know the struggle to go to the post office. Sometimes I park there and be like, okay, we still got to go inside. Like,
Girl, and he go, nah,
show them
I'm just
so
gonna
much
sit in the
business.
car.
Right. So the challenge with that is trusting that it will be done like you want it to be.
Ooh.
Trust is so important, but you have to build that. Yes. But part
You
of that,
do.
I think that's a good segue. One of the things that I was thinking about, so when we talk about building trust, you also have to think about when you've been proven wrong. So what is the worst thing that can happen? If you give your husband the post office run and he messes it up, that's why we have the insurance. We will apologize. We will fix it. So a lot of that too, I think what I'm thinking about is what do we really want? Like the
I
goal we
know.
wanted yesterday is not the same that we want today. And in that same thing, I've been thinking more of like we do all of this like I want this, we want to dream, all of these affirmations, but really what is our subconscious telling us? Like, do we really believe that once we delegate that task or once we turn it over to somebody, do we trust that it's going to be okay? Because if we don't, you might as well just keep running around crazy. So that's
And
probably
see,
what,
that's
yeah.
what you and that's something that we cannot do because we're going to
No.
burn out. We talked
Right.
about burnout as well.
Right.
If you guys go back and look at some of our lives, we've talked
Yeah.
about this. We've talked about burnout and how
Yes.
that will happen if you are doing everything on your own. You cannot. You
Yes.
can't do everything on your own. And I had to also come to grips with that this year.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Nyla cannot do everything in this business. It's
No.
just impossible.
No.
Like, and not just a post office run, content, marketing, all those things, whatever it is that you trust someone to do in your business, allow them to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if, like with the popcorn, bagging up the popcorn,
Yes.
involve your family, involve your children. Let it be something that you guys do together.
Yeah.
Make it fun. Turn on some music, dance. I mean, whatever. That's one of the things that we're really trying to do more of
Mm-hmm.
is not make it feel like you're working,
Yes. And I took
you
it
know?
back old school. If you go inside my kitchen, I've added the dry erase boards. We at home now. So now we have it. Where's everybody? And like, I only have Janelle. So we wake up with like, happy Thursday. It's thankful Thursday. Like, what are we thankful for? This is what we're going to do. We're working towards a TikTok. But I think that's why I have the book again, like your auntie, just to, you guys get it. But really,
Plans and
yeah,
proper.
I mean, I think because if you think about like there's so much that we want to do, but what do we really want that to look like? Like, we want Nyla and Janelle more engaged, but they better write down a goal because if you want this earring, maybe we need to circle back to the first earring. Like, because what are we doing?
I know. I
So I
agree.
think I
I
think
agree.
that like your aunt directs us to do too is right. You have to write it down. Like
You have to
we're
write it.
dreamers. So we want to
Right.
do all of these things. They're all great, but we can't push them out like a water hose or we'll never get to them. So I think that too, like write them down. There's all these things we want to do. We've had so many lessons in this last year. It's going to be our fault if we're not executing and accomplishing and changing some of these behaviors. So
I agree with you on that. And once you write it down, actually creating a checklist, how does that it makes me feel amazing.
man,
To be
look
able
at that.
to
I'm telling you, y'all better get your thing to
y'all,
do. And you can get it
what?
without a date. She does it without a
Yes,
date. You don't even have, I needed a
that's
date
right.
because I needed,
Yes.
but
Yes, yes. So
from
that's the thing.
everything. Yes.
Writing down your list of to do and crossing it out as you do it.
Yes.
Because that's a sense of accomplishment and we
Yeah.
all need to feel like we accomplished something. That's like huge for me.
And,
Like to make a list and to be able to check things off.
and I love really how just and look, nobody paid me to do this, but I just also love like we talk about like we're here talking about our businesses and our kids, but also here the wellness part that's big for me and a lesson in there. Like we've been through a lot, like death, grief, and all that stuff, but our wellness. So we talk about
Yeah.
how we're living on caffeine, but that isn't putting us at our best. So even
No.
remembering to drink the water, to make the
Oh
meal
yeah.
plan, because that's another thing I learned too. Janelle is turning into a little anxious me. We getting back out to the world and I'm
Oh,
like, when did you get nervous again? Like I thought we were done with that, but
they're
it's just
watching us.
yeah, yeah. So I gotta make
They're
sure
watching
we
us.
gotta make sure that we are adjusting accordingly if that's what we're preaching.
Yes, I love it.
I love
So,
Momanager.
yes, and I'm so glad
Yes.
that you got it because
Mhm.
that's also preparing you for 2022, which is
Yeah.
what we really wanted to talk about. Like you said, what is it that you plan to do differently next year? So I don't know if you answered that or what is something that you would like to change or do differently in your life or in your business for 2022.
I think what I want to, I guess, enhance the last the last quarter, I tried to really stick to, on Mondays, or really sticking to what we want Monday to be, whether that's growing like our minds or our dreamers or what you want the audience to do. And I kind of crafted that around like me personally, Janelle. So I think I'm really trying to focus on sticking to the plan and then
Yeah.
determining like, what does that feel like? Like when we're hitting our goals, like what does it feel like to hit that goal? Because I've been, listening to more podcasts about your subconscious. That's what I was talking about. Like, really, what are we thinking? Like, what are we trusting and believing behind what we're reading? So I think that's what I want to do is really work on. I know what the goal is, but what does that feel like? What does it look like
Mm.
to show up like that, so that I cannot say, that I listened to one and it says when you want to get out of debt, you say things like I'm a money magnet, I'm saving, but what does that feel like? Because what you feel like and what your money is really a reflection of what you believe and trust. So really trying to
I love
be
that.
more grounded, because when she said, well, whatever is in your bank account is a reflection of what you believe that you are. And I said, oh, well, hold on now, because something is not aligning there. But you have to remember, like a lot of stuff that we read, that's only 10% of our brain. So what are we
Yeah.
showing up? Am I showing up as rich as I want to be or not? I'm not showing up
Yes.
as rich as I want to be. So really looking
No.
at that more. So what about you? What are you focusing on or doing different?
You know, back to delegating, making sure that everybody has a task, making sure that Nyla, Simply Simone, stays on task or reaching her goals,
Yeah.
and trying to continue to strive, but definitely doing what is asked of her, because that's been a slack.
Janelle, do they need, oof, both of them. Hmm.
Like, it's been a slack. I'm like, these are your tasks for the week. This is what I would like for you to get done. I have it on a weekly basis, not a daily. So
Yeah.
I'll say, I need you to do 2 TikToks this week, but I haven't got no TikTok in
Right.
like
And they
a
say, what do they
month.
say? Oops, I didn't get to, what does that mean? You didn't get to it. I just be so confused.
They didn't want to get to it, because if you really want to do something, you will figure out a way and make time to do it. But I think it's feeling like a job.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why. And I don't want it to feel like that. I want it to be fun. Like, your TikToks can be fun. Your lives can be fun. It
Or
don't
you
have to
better
feel like
figure out
working.
what fun is, or tell me. Well, that's what Janelle is. I'm like, okay, what will make it
Yes.
fun? What do you want it to look like? You don't have to do a TikTok, but you have to do something visual, something
You
that's a
have to do
minute that I
something.
could post. So
You got
that
to give me
too.
something.
She
You
gotta
got to
figure
give
it
me
out.
something.
Maybe that'll be part of like her. You could do like some type of mommy daughter resolution goal planning. I know. I know.
Girl.
That
And the thing
the
is, and the interesting thing is, like, as she gets older, I feel like, the wanting to do it is decreasing
yeah.
and decreasing and decreasing the drive, but also she's doing a lot more now. Like, she's
Yeah.
cheering, and she's also still trying to run her talk show. So
Yeah.
I think she's doing a lot,
Yeah.
and so I try not to be too hard on her on, you know,
But
getting these
I
things
think we need to
done.
go back, because that was the same thing I said, like the dry erase boards. All of a sudden today, I feel like, well, maybe I shouldn't give her tasks today. But then, really, what have they done? Have they really did a lot? So part of me is going back between, no, we really can push you to do a little bit more, because you're doing a lot, because that's what you want to do. So, and Nyla,
Right.
I'm still waiting on her to get those cheer earrings, because all the cheerleaders need to be. So I think part of that too is us, like, I don't want to go back to just like, oh, they're kids. They're kids that want these businesses too. So yeah,
And see, so I like this. P and Popcorn said maybe narrow it down.
yeah,
Maybe narrow and that's one of the things that we are trying to do now, is like narrow it down, right?
yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
That's
But
yeah, I like
yeah,
that. Like one thing a week, I told Janelle, like work. I'm really trying to work on feelings, like communicating what things feels like. Like, is it overwhelming? Is it stressful? Is it happy? So really trying to define more to make sure when she says I'm stressed, I know like where we're coming from. So I
right,
like that.
right, right.
Narrowing it down too, because I think that is too, just remembering not to drink from a water hose all the time is so important. I don't know the deal, but that might work. That will work. PM popcorn.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. And we appreciate, and please, anybody else, feel free to comment or join in the conversation. But yeah, and like we said, with kids going to school and all, they are, I think, to some degree stressed.
They
They do
are.
have a little stress.
Yeah.
And we do talk about like feelings, but what does that look like? And what is
Yeah.
happening that's making you feel like you're stressed? Like, what
Right.
really is it? Like you said, that word stress ain't gonna fly by over here. I need to hear details on why you
Yes.
are, what is
Yes.
causing you to be stressed,
Yes.
you know, and how can I help? How can
Right.
I be of assistance, you know, to help you? And maybe it's not even the business is stressing them out. It could be school, you
Right.
know, it could be homework, it could
Right.
be any other thing besides the business. So that's good to have those conversations.
Or even different motivation, because I notice with Janelle, sometimes when she's bored or not motivated, sometimes she gets a little bit more lazy. So I think that's just looking at it and doing it with them. I think what I've learned too in the business is, okay, I'm not going to just take over it because there's other things that I want to work on as the momager. So let's talk about, like, you, if you want to do these brands or you want to do this or you want to come out with this product, let's talk about how you're going to roll it out. So I think that's helped. Or even with the flyer, with Janelle being a little bit more shy, I personalized her flyer so it just says like her name and tells about her business versus saying anything about selling a product or trying to get a person to do something. It's more of just really like,
Yes,
hey, this is just, I just want to tell you that I have a business so that they can get, so
yes,
she can get more comfortable with, because to her, meeting new people at school is fine, but new people in the public is weird. So, but
yes,
I think
yes,
always working on business.
definitely.
So I think the fact that we have different things that we want to work on is great. More conversations like this and other businesses, because it's about dreamers. We're all just have to keep trying new things.
Yes, I love that. So let's talk about the challenges of 2021.
Yeah.
What has been a challenge in 2021? And this can be anything, business or personal. You guys, once again, please share in the comments what has been a challenge this year for you, Miss Paris.
Consistency in personal and business. Just
Oh,
yeah, just consistency, like showing up for myself and for others. Just like I think it goes back to that plan, because with our content, when stuff happens outside, if we're not consistent to the plan, then that makes that fall apart. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm consistently showing up for myself so that I can show up for others, because that was not the case. I was not consistent in 2021.
I mean, girl, consistent is hard, right? Honestly, you know, it's almost like real close to perfection.
As a parent, I still, let me say, as a parent, I'm still learning not to minimize her stress. Yes, yes, I like that, but that is thing. I think
I like that.
we need to teach them, or what I feel the pressure to teach, like just help us understand what stress looks like for your age, because they are stressed, but what does that mean? What is stressing you out? Because we're all just
Yes,
big little kids with different kinds of stress. And like I tell Janelle, is sometimes when I was little and I was crying, I knew what I was feeling. I was either scared to say it, or I thought I was going to get in trouble if I said it wrong. So with her, I'm like, let's write it out. Let's say it or do anything. And one time I couldn't even get mad because I asked her, she said, Mom, did you think about that? And I'm like, I didn't. So I'm glad you told me. Now
yes,
let's watch on. But you have to work on, like, get it out, because
yes.
whatever is the tone, we can talk about it after. Let's just get it out, write it, talk about it or something. So I think that's important, not to minimize it.
I
But you
love
need to be
that.
able to tell me, okay, what's stressful? What's confusing? What's
Yes,
sad?
yes.
What is it?
Yes, and for the challenges for me has also been consistency, but also procrastinating or forgetting, and that's one of the things I've been doing is like forgetting to do this,
Mm-hmm.
forgetting to do that. But consistency has definitely been huge for me because I have not been consistent with the email marketing at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
I have not been consistent with some of
Yep.
the things that I said we were going to do that we didn't get a chance to do
Mm-hmm.
because we ran out of time.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's also a time management problem. Like
Yes.
figuring out, you know, figuring out there's 24 hours in a day, but
Right.
it needs to be more, right? But then if it was more,
Yep.
we would still be.
I am pushing. You better get your and that's our parents did. Yes, our parents did not do that for us. So another thing that I've been doing now, I might
Mm,
not write anything, but
mm,
personally or whatever. Today I went to lunch. It was, this is my new one for the future. But I take my planner everywhere now. Personal dinners,
same.
because if you think of something, you need to be able to write it down and stick. So I think that's all of us, just being able to plan and do better with that time management.
I love that. So that's something that I think we all could take in and learn from is being more consistent, but
Mm-hmm.
also
Mm-hmm.
writing down, jotting down our plans and goals, our dreams, our aspirations. What do we want to do? You can't remember everything. Okay, let's be real. So
And what do you
trying to
want to
keep.
do? I think that's me. I've been struggling with,
Yes,
especially with Jay being gone. It's like, what do I want to do for fun? Sometimes
I
I get dressed and I'm like,
know.
what do I want to do? So I think
I
even when
know.
like I have the time, I'm like, okay, now what? So I think that spending that time to really figure out, like, okay, Paris, what do you want to
That's
do?
us too, girl. It's like we can't wait to get a babysitter, and then
And
as soon as we got somebody watching the kids, we like, okay, babe, what we gonna do?
okay, I don't want to eat there because it's gonna
Look,
take forever. We want to cook. I don't want to
right.
cook. Like, let me see.
Okay, what we gonna do?
My challenge is not feeling overwhelmed with all that we have to do so that the business is successful. Yeah,
I love
define
that.
success. I think I listened to something else when we're pushing, then I have to remember what part of that push is an
Yes,
investment that's only temporary, and what part of that push is me not being a good delegator and a good planner. Because a lot of that stuff we could be passing on. There's so many virtual assistants. All of that little money that you pay to do the ads on Instagram could be going to little cousins to work those emails and post for us. So I think some of that is
yes.
right. It's overwhelming because we need to look at it a different way.
Yes, I agree with you. And
Yeah.
I was feeling that way too until I started delegating like we said. I was
Gotta
feeling
let it go.
overwhelmed and stressed too. I was like, you know what? I got to let it go. I got to allow somebody to do it. I've got to trust that they're going to do it. It may not be the way that I want it
And we
done,
don't even know what
but
we're doing.
it
So like did
we
it
learned
really
it too.
okay, did it really mess up the way I was gonna do it? I don't
No.
it might come
We
out
don't know.
better, actually.
Yes, it might. It might.
Yeah.
And all of us got, like you said, a little cousin, somebody in the family that really, really would not mind helping, that we could pay $20.
Or a stranger. It is strangers out here, or
What?
people looking at like a lot of there's so many kidpreneurs now that want to be little actresses. They could go on live with the talk show. Those are easy folks because it's another thing that's hard to get people when it's on a schedule. So that's one thing is I'm
Yes,
not limiting my dreams either. Like anything can
yes.
be done. We just need to look at different ways of doing it.
I agree. I agree. I love that. I love that.
Yes.
So going into 2022, what is something that you can say that you've learned? What is a learning lesson? Maybe something that you tried that maybe didn't work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What is something that you've learned, business or personal?
Um I think it probably goes back, but just saying it isn't enough. I think like that thing, just you can't just say it and think it and dream. Like really executing those actions, I think is one. I think it was a good push, like they said, to narrow things down because I learned that you can have all the ideas, and we know we have all the ideas in the world, but if you don't really narrow down that action plan and execute, those wins will never get on the board and it's pointless. So I think there's been many times of plans that did not go all the way through. And I think that less is more. That is a reminder. I
Yes.
learned that less is more. So that's really what I'm
I love
reminding myself.
that. I
Yeah.
love less is more. I like that.
Yeah.
I've learned to kind of pace myself and to give myself some grace because I think we also can be hard on ourselves.
Definitely.
If you don't get a chance to mail that order today, it's okay. All right.
I could have
And
swore
that's
the
one of the things that
website probably says 3 to 5 days.
and I'm like,
The
it's got to
same
be mailed
day.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, okay, all you have to do is just give yourself a little grace or communicate. Even if
Yeah.
it has been that 3 to 5 days longer than what you said,
Yeah.
communicate with them because they've got orders that they've been waiting on for weeks that still ain't there.
Yeah.
So, right?
And then I know you are full time, been an entrepreneur all your life, but another push is I've moved
Somebody wants
my
to be in the video. You want
really
to add pea and popcorn?
sure,
Yeah,
yes,
they've been on the live. Let's do it.
yes. Come on, talk to us. Now we never did 3, so they gonna have to teach
I
us.
never, right. I'm trying to figure out how to,
Oh
oh,
shoot!
there it goes.
Hey, you
Hello.
guys.
Hey, oh my gosh.
Hi.
Look, this is
How
my
y'all
first time
doing?
having good. How are you?
You guys are doing a wonderful job.
Thank
Wonderful
Oh,
job.
thank
you.
Wonderful.
you. Thank
And
you.
the wisdom and the nuggets you're dropping on point. I love it.
Yes. Well,
Oh,
So
we
now
love
tell
you
us
this.
about popcorn. Tell us about pea and
right.
popcorn.
Now you
Yes.
got
Yes.
a face with the name. I'm OC with Pea and Popcorn. The whole organization or company started as a fundraiser, literally, more than 10 years or more than 15 years ago, actually,
Wow.
That's
for
amazing.
my church. And it has basically grown tremendously from there. I went through
Wow.
periods of on and off and on and off as far as being consistent. However, this past year has been a mind blowing situation for me. I'm stopping
Yay!
there real quick only because I actually have to go ahead and start my all of my popcorn because I have an event tomorrow.
See, look at
Okay.
them. Them churches will
You
teach you
better
how to
go ahead,
fundraise,
boss.
baby.
look,
Okay,
look,
What?
look.
What?
But I
amazing.
have it's a holiday event tomorrow that I'm popping popcorn and stuff for, so I can be a vendor out there. But I started off this past year, I want to say, um, basically I was kicked in the butt, and
Wow.
in the butt in the right way,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
the Lord shared with three different people, "Oh, so get off your butt. I
Yep.
gave you." You know, we always talk about, and we think about possibly the scripture that tells us that we have power, that He has given us power to go get
Mhm.
wealth,
Mhm.
but we don't
Oh.
operate in that.
But what you doing with it?
Mm.
Right.
Nothing.
So, Osa, get off your butt.
Mm.
Get off your butt. I've given you the
I love it.
power to go get wealth. And since you
I
have the
love it.
power, go get it.
Yeah.
And because I act literally, my business has not been where it is now in more than, like I said, 10 years. And it's
Wow.
just been in a year that it has boomed because I got off my butt. So a key to one of the keys I've learned. So we're talking
Yeah.
about,
I was just getting ready. We
our
were just getting
reflection.
ready to
What?
ask you. Look, go right on
You
So
into
better
it.
add it
we're
now.
talking about so we're talking about reflections, right? So
Mhm.
reflecting on this year, one of the keys is literally obedience. That
Mm.
consistency thing. We have innate the things that we know that we need to do, and then we do have just that human factor of us that, listen, I'm tired, I don't feel like it,
What the scripture say?
but
Be still and know. Be still.
right,
Okay. Look.
okay, so
And walk and look. You gotta
Look,
walk in faith and not by
we
sight.
remember the word
right,
now. We just have to walk
What
it back.
you?
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And
What?
so with that, we have to understand that we cannot, even when we're tired, we still got to show up.
definitely.
Yes.
My challenge, along with, like I was saying, that overwhelming stuff, a part of that is that making sure I allocate, time for family, time
Yeah,
for the business, time for,
Absolutely.
because in when it's all said and done, you know, that's what really matters.
yeah.
You know,
Balance.
balance,
Balance. And it's
balance.
hard to balance. It is hard to balance, but it can be done. We gotta
It can
stop.
be
We gotta
done.
put it down. We gotta
Yeah,
put it down.
and then
And then we
I
have to
think
stick to it.
Stacey, I think
Stick.
now, like I'm reminded too, as we go into these more years, don't start anything you don't want to keep up. So if you don't
Right.
want to keep doing all of these in-person events or different things, I'm really trying to be mindful of, like, because easy now that the world's open back up. Like, let's hit all these pop-ups. Well, do you really want to do a
Well, you
pop-up
know
Yes.
every
what?
weekend? Like, so you have to think about it. What do you say?
Hey, one of my mentors, coaches on, I appreciate him for joining, man.
Yes,
Yes.
drop
Thank
some
you guys.
The
lessons. Drop some
family
lessons.
have
Mm-hmm.
embraced me, literally, and they've taken what I've desired to do. And a lot of times we don't know how to word that. We
Yeah,
we have a
Yes.
vision, we have an idea, but we really don't know how to put that
those
into action.
resources.
So
Yep.
it's important to surround those that can actually understand your
We
vision
had
and
a
see your
live about
vision.
that. Yes,
Yeah,
use your
that can take
resources.
you to.
Use your
Oh, my tribe
resources.
is joining, bro. Thank you, Corey.
Yes.
Man,
So
Yes.
drop
I
those
love
lessons. Yeah,
it.
that
that's
makes me
amazing.
feel
This is
good,
that's why
y'all.
it's important. That's why we
Yes,
started doing things like this, because it isn't just about having kidpreneurs. It's all of our creators and the folks that support us. Like, we are a village. It just looks different than
We
it
are
used
a
to.
tribe. I love
right.
This is
that.
the same fundraising. I don't know. Back in the church when I did it, it was the oranges and the grapefruits fundraising. It was,
What?
okay.
What?
So, but
You remember that?
you were door to door knocking. So that's what we have to remember. Like, our community is different. It might be virtual, but we still have those resources, those
Right,
folks that can help us out. So that's
right. So,
wonderful.
And we have to be social, you guys. We can't sit around. It's not gonna come to us. We gotta go out there and get it.
Yeah.
Okay?
right,
Yep.
right. We
Mm-hmm.
can't, we can't. we want the greatness, but we don't want to get off our butt to go get the greatness. So we got to get up.
That's
We
right.
got to get up. And
Right.
again, one of these things that's been constantly um, preached to us, I would say. I'll use that word preach, okay. But
Yeah,
constantly talk to us and told us and preached to us that we can't expect lessons if we're sitting on our tail.
God helps
no,
those who help
We got
themselves.
to
Yeah.
show up.
that's
We
right.
Yeah.
got to show up. And showing up is going to be different for everybody. But
Definitely.
at least show
Absolutely.
up, you know.
Mm-hmm.
At least show
I
up.
don't know. I don't know it all. And I'm still learning. But I can't be afraid not to, because see, here's a guarantee. If you don't show up, you're guaranteed not to succeed.
Right.
There you go.
So
I love it.
what's one of your main goals or reminders that's going to ground you and keep you focused going into the new year?
That's a good one,
Um,
girl.
Because you gotta be able to bring your back self
right, you got to
center,
bring it
or
in. You got to
you'll
focus
be,
in.
yeah.
So, my main
Yes.
focus is to literally get my organization set up, structured the way that it needs to be
Y'all better
structured,
get y'all
down
learning.
to look,
You better
look,
plan them proper. Y'all, I'm
look.
telling
Planned and
you.
proper. They also have mail planners. My husband has one. He loves it. He uses it all the time. So get you one if you don't have a planner already, and that'll really help you to stay grounded. Constantly, it's in your face. You
Yes.
need to see
Right.
it visually.
And that's and
Yes.
and and putting it on paper.
Makes it real.
I'm learning helps you to stay focused. And
Yes.
then I work from home, so I can put in front of me while I'm working from home.
I'm telling you.
Hey, here's a reminder. Here's what you need to do. This is your focus. This is your goal. Setting monthly goals, setting weekly goals, setting daily goals. Breaking down the month to the week. What you have to do in the week in order to reach your monthly goal. And what you have to do during the day, each day to reach your weekly goal, so that you can reach monthly goal.
And when
So
that
I
gets
love it.
overwhelming, because we remember, I think it's so great when we do those clothes, but I've been pushing myself since this year has been so traumatic. It's just like 4, 4, 4. Sometimes I do, what do I need to do in the next 4 seconds, 4 minutes, and four
wow,
hours? Because sometimes I need
see,
to just breathe for a second. But if it's not
You
that,
have
ooh,
to.
see what you need to do in the next 4 hours, 4 weeks. Because sometimes we put too much pressure on ourselves. I don't know what to do tomorrow because I'm trying to make it through this morning. So I think with that
Ooh.
plan, just keep breaking it down to just like that's the first one I think of is just like, what do I need in the next 4 minutes, 4 hours, or 4 weeks or something, just to, yeah, maybe can we pin it this time? Yes, you need to order it.
I, I
It's
can't
wonderful.
pin it. I don't know how to pin. I'm still
Hold
learning this
it
stuff, y'all.
down. Look, hold
Look.
it. Plan, but also definitely have the plan, but give ourselves grace and realize that sometimes we just have to go back to remembering, like, okay, I can do this, or just in that
Yes.
moment what we need.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Thank you
Mm-hmm.
for joining. This
Yes,
was
so nice to meet
good.
you.
Yes.
And y'all are doing an excellent job. I'm a big
Thank you.
encourager. So I love to see, and when I can feel that it's not, just talk, but y'all not just showing up just to be, get some numbers or whatnot, but
No,
it's
this is the
genuine
real.
No.
We be
conversation.
out here like a
Right.
virtual hug, like,
This is
hey,
the real deal. I know. And
Genuine,
look, we have never met each other ever
in
in
person.
person. And our kids are both entrepreneurs.
Yep,
And we have been supportive to each other and the parents
sisters from
behind the
Fred.
dream.
Yes,
I
yes.
mean, yeah, this has been
I
awesome.
almost
And
forget that we haven't met in person. I almost
I
forget that
know.
part.
I know.
well, see,
I
that's
love
encouraging to
it.
me because my daughter, I just learned a few weeks ago. Um, she's 17, but she wants to do a nonprofit,
Oh,
and I had never heard her with that desire, you know. And then
I love it.
what she wants to
Yep.
do is to, set up something like the YMCA, but set it
Hmm.
up for autistic and special
And there's a
needs
need
kids.
for that. Yep.
What?
And so I was like, oh my God. And she said,
Let
just a
me
few
tell
days
you.
ago,
Such a
I
need.
I
need,
love that.
Daddy, can you help me? Now,
Such
her
a need.
whole desire all her life is animals, so it's been vet. But since she's been in school, it kind of changed just a little bit from being a vet to working with special needs.
Wow,
That's
that's
wonderful.
awesome. That's
So I say,
awesome.
At
Lord, I just need
17,
you to,
this
at
it's
17.
such a great time to be young. Look at our kids. How old did Nyla just turn? What, 14,
12, girl.
12? Girl, I thought it
Yeah.
was 14. Oh,
Look,
I mean,
but
but
you know
look
what?
Hey,
Look, I
butterfly.
hey,
Yes, thank y'all for joining. This is awesome. Look, I
yes.
love the
How you
nonprofit.
doing?
My thought was
Yes,
that go for it. I used to work with
yes,
autism, so when you said that, that really touched my heart. And
yes,
if you ever want her to reach out to me. See, it's a reason for this.
yes,
There's a reason for
Yes.
this.
yes.
She could reach out to me. I was a mentor with teenage girls, but I
Yep,
also worked for
Wow.
2 years in an autistic group home,
yep.
and
Wow.
I can give her a whole lot of information. So send me a DM.
And I'm a TT
We
that,
Definitely.
and
will
look, and I'm a family member that lives with family that's autistic. So even like talking about like how
see
you deal with family,
Hey,
y'all.
because we
cousin.
be like, what we supposed to do? So yes,
What?
Cool.
yes. But that's good.
Cool. I would
Just to
definitely do that.
recap, tell everyone we have new joiners. So if your PM
She
popcorn as
just
our guest,
joined,
yeah,
y'all.
go ahead and tell them
So my daughter
you want.
just joined.
Yep. And
Oh,
to
she just joined.
Her name is
So
Purpose.
hello.
Ashley, maybe you want to tell
Oh,
what
that's her
what your
name.
question is. Yeah.
Her name is Purpose Tate.
Okay, you
Oh
guys.
that.
I love.
Oh that is
Okay, hold
beautiful.
on. Let me just connect this.
Yes, give
Okay.
your spiel. Give
Her,
your
hold
spiel.
on.
Yes.
Her name is Purpose,
Yes.
right? My
Yes.
daughter's name is Nia, and that means purpose.
See.
Wow.
Okay.
So Pete,
And
let's
so
modify
this
her
is.
name after her.
See.
Oh, I love
Hi,
it.
purpose.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
Hey, Purpose. Look,
This is
that
all meant to be.
nonprofit. This is all meant to be. That nonprofit that you want, girl, we're telling you to go for it.
Now.
Continue to dream big. You have our support. Please feel free to DM me,
Yep.
and I can give you my personal phone number. You can call me. I used to work in an autistic group home, and
Yep.
I loved it.
Plenty. Look at that.
And
Set course. You can
look
set.
at this.
There's plenty of people that can help you set up.
Look
Yep.
at this.
Simple.
That's
Look
good.
at
Yes.
that.
Yep.
That's my crew. Oh my God.
Everybody.
Y'all,
More
this is love.
connections.
This is
Yes.
love. This
From
is love.
and
And
I used to write grants, so we can get it. Yeah, grants for the city. All of that
look,
stuff. Yeah.
look. These are connections. This was meant to be. And let
Definitely.
me tell you, um, purpose. Feel free to reach out to me or Paris,
Yes.
okay, or
Anytime.
both of us. We will support you and help you in any way that we can. I have a 17-year-old son,
Yeah.
so I know that age also well, and yeah. Woo! So we got the
This is
driving going on
wonderful.
and
Yes.
everything. I'm
Yes.
like, Lord, but yeah. So this is awesome.
And
This was
this
meant
is
to
what
be.
we wanted.
Holy Spirit activate.
Well, this is what we really
What?
wanted this platform to
Oh,
be. And we
I love
connected
it.
and we think like, because we'll also say we have connections to plenty of business coaches and all of that. But we really come from the real, like, okay, they didn't told us all of the puzzle pieces, but now what we supposed to do because
Paris,
real life happens. Yes, ma'am.
girl, what did
Girl.
we say? We wanted a male to be on the live. Didn't we
Yes,
say
we
that?
did say that.
We
Did
said
we?
that there's
We
not
did.
enough. We did. We said there's
Because
not enough
that's why
men
we changed
that
it
are
to
parents
parents.
Professor,
behind the
what's
tree.
going on, y'all?
That's what because
Look,
we said we didn't want it to be moms or women. We said parents and rich dreamers. That's why a lot of times we just
we're,
talk about because we do not want to be boxed in. We just talked about we needed males. Yes,
we
because
just talked about needing a male to show people that there
that
are
y'all are
men
out
that
here
are parents
working.
that are
Yes,
parents behind the dreams that are dreaming,
yes.
so our
Hey,
kids can see you are never too old, too young to do your dream. You can start
absolutely.
at any time, and just continue to work toward it.
Because these
I
kids
love
Absolutely.
it.
are doing
I
it. These
love it.
kids are doing it. It's not too late for us. I think that's why a lot of times we talk about like I'm on the platform of my daughter, but there's still a lot of things that I do, and we still just have to give our credit. Like we make all our own content. All of that stuff is
Yes,
there, and all the schedule learning, all the
yes,
different apps, and all of those
yes.
resources. So we are bigger and better together, and that's definitely what we want
Absolutely.
this platform. So
I
Absolutely.
love it.
we take over the platforms every Friday outside of
Yes, and
holidays.
mind your business.
Yes.
Mind your business. The platform that you guys are on is a free advertising.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want your business advertised, send me a DM. I will advertise your
She
business. I
sure
will
does.
talk about you like it's my own.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we want to spread this to the world. We want everybody to
That
know
is
about
awesome.
everybody.
And what do we do?
So that's connection.
My our website, I'm on Wix and you're on
Shopify.
so any like website questions, a lot of things like there, ask your questions for that between like different marketing. We probably have tried it all from paying for free, to staying up all night learning. So any of those questions here, that's why we okay.
Look,
Okay,
one
Awesome.
eye
I didn't
open.
spend my money and my time, and I still don't know what I'm doing. So,
What? We still learning. This is
okay,
2 years in business over here,
yes,
with a
Oh, there
yes.
go
kid
one of my other
entrepreneur.
mentors. She joined.
What? You got
Oh,
everybody coming up in the
oh
house.
yeah,
You
you
got
got to.
everybody up
Oh,
in
so
Look,
here.
for
and
real.
this is another
The
reminder. If you didn't
tribe, for
know, if they
real.
didn't know to kick yourself, your tribe is reminding you that they are
Right.
here from you. You didn't even plan to be on
Absolutely.
live, so you
Man, I
I
don't
love
let
appreciate
them
it.
it.
down. Do not let them down.
Look,
That
look,
is
Look.
what?
amazing. Are they
I
I
love
local
it,
to
said,
y'all.
you? Because
I
are they do?
literally, I just said, let me join. See, in Panthers, okay. I'm not gonna do the crime thing right now, okay? But
Hey, if you
look,
go back to a live,
uh,
I cry over here, so
look,
it's cool.
Look,
y'all don't understand. So I literally was not coming on, for the whole spiel. Literally, I felt the need to jump on and say, keep up the good work.
thank you.
And
Thank
look at
you.
you. And look at
And
you
That was
now.
it.
I love it. I love it. But look, we got to do this again. If you see us
Yes.
on here, you join the live because we're always talking
Yep.
about um, dreaming. Because, like, we
Yes.
are the parents behind the dreams, but we also have our own dreams, our own
Yeah.
aspirations. And we want to provide knowledge and information and support to everyone who is out here trying to be an entrepreneur. And we can learn from each other. We can learn together. We can
Definitely.
grow together. We can help each other and support each other because that's what we need more of,
Yep.
Hmm.
period, definitely in our community. We need to help each other.
And I think I know we've been over time, but just like how we like to wrap it up, we have some new folks. So, Will, since you're our guest, if you can kind of tell us any sales that you're having, remind the folks where they can find you, and just one last little wrap up for you.
For sure, for
Yes.
sure. So again, I'm OC Tate, the owner of PM Popcorn. I like to say, come and join us. We got the PM Popcorn experience that you can take and experience. Um, all of our popcorn. I'm a part of the popcorn community, and everybody make their popcorn with their own special love.
Yes,
So you get some of
Purpose.
the PM
She
Popcorn
tagged it.
special love. You know, just stay encouraged, people. Hold on. Um, Literally, we're not. Every time God gives us the breath for the following day, that's another day that we can complete working towards our goal, working towards the plan, and we just got to keep showing up and don't get
And
tired.
tell us where the
You
pop
know,
up shop is tomorrow. Where's the pop
tomorrow
up
the
shop?
pop up shop
Purpose
is
got
in
us. Purpose
King.
is on it. Yes.
Look,
I love
it's
that.
in
Yes.
Kingwood Town Center,
What
Kingwood,
state?
Texas.
Texas.
Kingwood,
Kenwood.
Oh, what? What?
Where is
Texas?
Kenwood? How far is that from
So
Dallas?
I'm in Houston,
Oh, that's a few hours. But I'll be in
right? So it's
Houston
a
the end
Uh,
of the month. End of
it's a
January, I'll be in Houston. So I definitely
cool,
have to
look
check
at
out.
this.
Yes.
Y'all, Texas
cool.
in the
I
house.
okay. I
Look,
just made Houston plans. I will be out Purpose the end of
Oh,
January.
my
So
God.
definitely. I just made plans the other day.
for sure, for sure.
I
So
love it.
Kingwood's a part of Houston, so to speak. We
Okay.
got Kingwood, we got Katy, we have yeah, a whole bunch of yeah. So it's in
We a mini
Kingwood,
country. Mm-hmm.
right? Like Dallas Garden is across the street,
Yep.
right?
Yep. Yep.
So
Okay.
that's kind of what's going on. But we'll be out there tomorrow from 12 to 5, and we got little treats, got a little Christmas tins, so to speak. My own little twist on stuff, and
Yes.
yeah, and a whole bunch of other little shops, pop ups, vendors are going to be out there. I think it's over 30.
Okay.
So anybody in the
Oh,
area,
yes. We need
yeah,
to be
anybody in
there.
the
Look.
area, I,
We definitely need
on
to be up in
my
there.
Okay.
on my page, I have the flyer out there, so it'll provide the address and all of that. So y'all come on out. It's from 12 to 5.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Yes.
And getting it done just said, I just started following PM Popcorn. I'm definitely going to be getting some of his popcorn.
Yes.
So she's going to be placing her order very
Appreciate
soon.
you.
This is
Thank you.
awesome. Yes. I'm going to be getting my popcorn soon, too, with my hot
Yes.
chocolate.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. Right.
If y'all have not tried that combo yet, do not sleep on popcorn with hot chocolate. Okay?
I don't know
I'm
about
just
that.
saying.
What?
Look,
I'm just saying.
so
I'm just saying.
I was a part of like a little Christmas party with the popcorn crew last night, If y'all see, I think she joined the
Angel
popcorn
kisses on
professor.
his popcorn. His heart matches his product. Oh, I need it.
Oh,
I
I love
need it.
it.
That is beautiful. Come on. Yes.
The
Oh,
popcorn professor. I think she joined. I'm
Yep.
giving her a shout out because
Mm-hmm.
last night I didn't know.
that's love.
So you like hot chocolate, baby? She
Yes.
make them bomb things, the
I've been
The
chocolate
wanting to
what?
try them. You know
white
them
forest.
hot,
See, I
them
What?
had
them
the picture,
bombs. I've been wanting to try
No.
those.
the chocolate
The
bomb. Yeah.
bombs.
I
Mhm.
ain't tried one. I'm trying one this year.
Mhm.
Okay, y'all. Okay, y'all.
Mhm.
Coming soon. Got to do that too.
Okay, I'll do my wrap up since you're the host this week.
Okay.
And so I am your favorite healthy hustling momager, Paris Vaughn. I'm the mom behind Don't Be Jelly. We are a kid friendly cosmetics company that encourages all ages to dream big. And right now we still have some $10 holiday bundles. And make sure you get all of your orders in before the 15th, because that's the last day you can get shipping for Christmas. If you don't know, y'all, USPS is not playing around. So that, check that out. Check my baby girl. So happy to be here, and I'm excited just to remember to dream big, give ourselves grace, but get those wins on the board.
Yes.
That's
And
what's
I
good.
am Ashley McMichael. I am mom manager of Simply Simone. I am your coffee wired and inspired super mom
Okay.
because I love me some coffee, okay? And it keeps me going and just gives me that push and that drive besides of course the Lord,
Oh, the
okay?
whole popcorn
But
crew is here. Katie Popcorn.
what?
The
Yes.
What?
popcorn crew is
But
big.
what? I love that. I love this crew. But Simply Simone
Yes.
hand makes hypoallergenic stainless steel earrings, and they're
Beautiful
studs.
earrings.
Stud
Yes.
earrings. They're made for any ages.
And
We also
clip-ons.
added, yes, we also have clip-ons. We also added a men stainless steel earring, which is just a regular diamond.
I didn't see that.
And yes, we do.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have
What's going on,
collaborated with
KD?
Simply Simone's grandmother, offering bow ties for men as well, some to
Yes.
match earrings. So you got to
So
check the
cute.
bow tie line out on Simply Simone. But yes, sassy, classy studs is her thing, and
And
she
they're
also
beautiful.
encourages everyone to dream big because dreams do come true.
They do.
So thank y'all so much,
Yes,
y'all. This is
Thank
yes.
y'all for
good.
having me.
Thank
This was great.
y'all.
We
This
wishing
was
Yes,
you
y'all
great.
have.
sold out popcorn tomorrow. We know you're gonna get it
Thank
all
you
done. So
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 much.
great to
Yes.
Appreciate
connect.
it. Appreciate it.
Yes, and thank you all for joining. The popcorn community is awesome. The bomb.
Yeah.
And
Say the bomb.
I am King Moses Jones. DM me. We're gonna talk about these bow ties.
Yes,
Y'all have
yes.
a good night. Love
Bye
y'all.
y'all.
Good night.
Bye. All right. Thank you all for joining. Y'all have a good night. Bye.